Look at this map. The dark ink stops abruptly at this boundary because the Fata region was engineered into a permanent administrative black hole. It was a deliberate gap in the map of the modern world. The British Empire viewed this barren mountainous terrain as a defensive asset rather than a territory to develop. They kept the region isolated, using the tribal belt as a physical wall to insulate their Indian empire from foreign powers to the west. Isolation was codified through the Frontier Crimes Regulation. This diagram shows the result: a complete absence of regular police stations, civil courts, or tax systems. All authority rested with a single unelected official called a political agent. Without formal legal institutions, the state relied on local militia and these political agents to maintain order. They replaced due process with collective punishment. When Pakistan gained independence in 1947, the new state maintained this colonial arrangement. For decades, the region remained outside the national constitution, governed by tribal custom or rivaj rather than national law. By holding legal and social infrastructure for a century, the state created a lawless vacuum. It was an environment perfectly suited for militancy to exploit. The vacuum was breached during the 1980s Afghan War. As the Cold War intensified, the conflict drove a massive influx of armed mujahideen into Fata. After the Soviets left, these fighters remained. They entrenched their networks and strict ideological interpretations within local refugee camps and madrasas throughout the 1990s. The regional pressure increased again after 2001. Following the US invasion of Afghanistan, a new generation of militants moved across the border directly into the Fata vacuum. These militants exploited the lack of state police and judges to begin a process of Talibanization. They formed the TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and established parallel governance entities, dispensing their own brand of absolute authority in the dark. The strategy of maintaining a lawless buffer zone provided a ready-made sanctuary. Militancy was able to grow in the vacuum until it was strong enough to attack the state's own institutions. The state responded with military force. These kinetic operations were purely security-centric, focusing on cleaning territory rather than establishing long overdue administrative reform. These operations resulted in the massive displacement of the local population. As families moved into tent cities and urban centers, the traditional tribal structures that had governed them for generations began to fracture. Displacement pulled isolated tribal communities into modern urban centers. For the first time, youth from the barren hills were navigating globalization and digital technology alongside the rest of the country. In these cities, the youth find themselves navigating a cultural divide. While their elders often hold on to traditional ideals, the younger generation is increasingly visible in protest, advocating for modern political inclusions and constitutional rights. The military operations broke the old tribal equilibrium. In its place, a generation has emerged that no longer accepts isolation, expecting the stability of the formal law. Through a historic constitutional amendment, the Fata boundary finally dissolved, merging the territory into Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Integration abolishes the FCR, placing it with a formal criminal justice system. Regular police forces and local courts are now established across the merged district. Taliban's return to power in Kabul has re-energized militancy along the border, challenging the state's effort to establish its new legal writ. Passing a law is only the first step. Securing the region depends on transitioning the economy away from illegal smuggling and toward regulated mining, trade, and industry. To make these new courts and police stations effective, the government must provide socio-economic investment that the public can actually see. Success requires sustained cooperation between the center and provincial government. Lasting peace requires abandoning the buffer zone mentality. Success depends on replacing a century of security-centric control with genuine human and economic development.